to the 8.7% that the market offered. So the institutional market was offering 8.7%. It's almost half saved by selling to the less than institutional investor here in California. So they could very well turn to Prop 1A. As you are well aware, under Proposition 1A, the state can borrow up to whatever 8% of last year's assessed value, total assessed valuation in your county generated. So whatever that was, that's what they can borrow. They can only do it once in 10 years, and they have to pay it back at the pooled interest rate. So there are many disincentives to the state for going there. Most of them are political. You all responded by making known to Senator Wiggins and Assemblymember Berg your opposition to taking that money. And I want to report to you that both of them spoke up in their respective caucuses against using that money. So there was widespread legislative opposition to taking the money. We shouldn't rest easy on that, however, because we do know that the staff, the leadership staff of both parties in both houses had that on their list of perhaps places where the legislature could go. They chose not to go there, and we would hope that they would not go there in the coming year. That, Mr. Chairman, is a quick rundown of where we are or not on the budget of the state of California. It is a dire circumstances. I don't think anybody can paint it anything other than that. The financial problems engulfing the nation as a whole certainly make matters worse here in the state of California, and I don't think that things are going to get better anytime soon. The anticipated shortfall for the 09-10 budget could be even greater than the 08-09 budget, and that will mean even greater cuts. And obviously, the governor will come back with suggested tax increases. He has already indicated that. Some of you may have received telegrams or communications from Senator Don Parada, the outgoing president pro tem, in which he asked for your support in making sure that Proposition 1A, property tax funds, and Prop 42, transportation funds, are not taken, and asked you to contact the governor in support of that. Senator Parada leaves office at the end of November. He will be succeeded by Senator Darrell Steinberg of Sacramento as the president pro tem of the state Senate. So we will have a change in leadership in the state Senate at the beginning of the next session. That's the budget, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if there are any questions there. I have other items which I could report on very quickly. I know you've got time constraints, but
Supervisor Pinches.
One of the main problems, and this goes clear back to when Governor Davis was in there, and one of the two reasons they threw him out of office because he had a $5 billion deficit, and he wanted to raise the vehicle license fee by $5. My first question is, and I guess my first request is, could I get a copy of the state budget? Do they make a hard copy? I've never been able to get one.
I'll tell you how we get them. We download them and then print them out, but we can certainly get one for you. I don't even think they print them for.
They just give you a disc now.
Yeah.
Pardon?
They just give you a compact disc.
Yeah, we get a compact disc.
I guess we can get that.
And
They don't make a hard copy of the budget then.
the only hard copies we have are the ones that we download and put them in binders just so we're able to write on them.
Is it true that there's an $11 vehicle license fee increase included in the budget?
$11?
Yes.
There are individual potential license fee increases in individual areas, one for the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District. I don't think there is a statewide increase, but if you were to look at the various increases that have been authorized by the legislature, it may come up to that, Supervisor. I'd have to go back and add them up.
One of the problems with the state deficit is, and I don't know, they have this deficit carryover from year to year, and that's a clear violation of the California Constitution. Is there anybody trying to make, we trying to deal with state mandates on a weekly and a monthly basis and try to fund them and everything. Is there anybody, the Attorney General and everything, making an effort to make the state legislature go by their own Constitution? Because that's a major problem when they don't balance out the deficit, which, the federal government, they balance out their deficit by putting the deficit at the end of the year in the national debt. But the state, they don't have, that ability. So that deficit is supposed to be wiped out. And they've never been doing it. They let it accumulate.
Well,
and it went from $5 billion when Davis is in there, now to $15 billion when Schwarzenegger was there. And so if they don't take care of that on an annual basis, then the accumulation of it gets to the point where it's not even workable to work with. So is there any effort to try to wipe out that deficit in the fiscal years?
I think that in part is what Governor Schwarzenegger was aiming at by legislation to establish his so-called rainy day fund, and that is that it would increase